Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 30th of January 1985, and the title is Only Those Who Are Conquerors of Maya and Conquerors of Nature become the masters of the self. Today, Baba is looking at the royal court of all the children everywhere who are masters of the self. Everywhere there are the long lost and now found loving, unlimited servers, the specially beloved children. Such children are even now present in the royal court of masters of the self. Bapdada is seeing such worthy children, the constantly yogi children, children with great humility and elevated self-respect, and is pleased with them. Out of all the courts of the whole cycle, the court of the masters of the self is alokik, unique, and lovely. Each one who is a master of the self is a foundation of the kingdom of the new world and a creator of the new world. Each one who is a master of the self is wearing a sparkling divine tilak and a crown that is decorated with invaluable beads, sparkling with all specialties. They are wearing a rosary of all the divine virtues, a crown of light, of complete purity, and are seated on the throne of the elevated stage of the self. You are all present, decorated like that, in the royal court. Such a royal court is present in front of Bapdada. How many maids and servants are there in front of each masters of the self? The conquerors of matter and conquerors of the vices. There are 5 vices and 5 elements of matter. So the elements have become the servants, have they not? The enemies have become servers, those who maintain their spiritual intoxication, who transform the vice of lust into the form of good wishes and pure feelings and use them for service, who make enemies into servers, are never influenced by the elements of matter. Instead, they transform every element from its tamoguni form into its satopradhan form. In the Iron Age, those elements deceive you and cause you sorrow. At the Confluence Age, they are transformed. They change their form. In the Golden Age, the 5 elements become the means of happiness of the deities. The sun will prepare your food, and so it will become the Bhandari, cook. The wind will become your natural fan. It will become a means of your entertainment. There will be wind, the trees will sway, the branches, the twigs will sway in such a way that different music will automatically play through their movement. So it becomes a means of your entertainment, doesn't it? That sky will become a royal route for you. Where will you fly your vimans? That sky will become your runway. Where else is there such a big highway? Is there one in the foreign lands? No matter how many miles long you make it, it would still be smaller than the sky. Is there any road as big as that? Is there one in America? And it would be one where there are no accidents. Even if an 8-year-old child were to drive on it, he would not fall. So, do you understand? The water will be your eau de cologne. perfume. Because of herbs, the water of the Ganges is even now purer than any other water. Because of such fragrant herbs, there will be natural fragrance in the water. Just as milk gives strength here, in the same way, water there will be powerful and clean. This is why it is said that the rivers of milk will flow. All of you have now already become happy. Have you not? In the same way, the earth will give such elevated fruit that whatever taste of fruit you want, the fruit of that taste will become present in front of you. There won't be salt or sugar there. For a sour taste, you now use tomatoes. So that is ready-made, is it not? There is a sour taste in those. In the same way, there will be fruits of whatever taste you want. You just put some of that juice into it, and it will become that taste. So, firstly, the earth will serve to give you high quality fruit and good grains. And secondly, there will be natural scenes and scenery, which you call nature. Natural scenes. There will be mountains, etc. There won't be such straight mountains. There will be natural beauty, mountains of various shapes. Some will be in the shape of birds, others will be in the shape of flowers. There will be such natural creation there. You will only have to touch it up a bit. In this way, the five elements will become your servers. But whose servers will they become? They will become servers of the souls who are masters of the self. So, now check yourself. Have all the five vices changed from enemies into servers? Only then would you be called a master of the self. The fire of anger should change into the fire of yoga. Consider the vice of greed in the same way. Greed means desire. Limited desires should change, and instead there should be the pure desire to constantly be an altruistic, unlimited server in your every thought, word, and deed. I should become equal to the Father. Such pure desires means to transform the form of greed. Instead of it being an enemy, use it for service. Everyone has a lot of attachment. You have attachment to Bap Dada, do you not? You don't want to be distant for even a second. That is attachment, is it not? However, this attachment enables service to take place. Whoever looks into your eyes should see the Father merged in your eyes. Whatever you say, you would only relate invaluable versions of the Father. So the vice of attachment is also used for service, is it not? It is transformed, is it not? The same with arrogance. From body conscious, you become soul conscious. There is pure arrogance, that is, spiritual intoxication becomes an instrument for service. So, if all the five vices have changed and become a means of service, they have changed from enemies to servers, have they not? Therefore, check to what extent you have become conquerors of Maya and conquerors of nature. You will become kings when the maids and servants are ready first. How can those who are dependent on their servants become masters of the self? According to the program of the Mela of the children of Bharat, today is the last day. So, this is the last dip of the Mela. There is great significance in this. On this important day, they go to that Mela, believing that they will return, having had all their sins absolved. So, for everyone to have the thought of ending the five vices for all time is the importance of the final dip. So, have all of you had the determined thought of bringing about transformation? Have you had this thought? You mustn't renounce them, but transform them. If an enemy becomes your server, would you prefer the enemy or the server? So today, check and change, for only then is there importance of the Mela, of the meeting. Do you understand what you have to do? Don't think that you are okay in four and that one doesn't matter. That one will bring the other four back. They are connected to one another. This is why the heads of Ravan are shown connected. So, you have to go back having celebrated Dashera. To be a conqueror of matter and a conqueror of vices means that there are 10, is there not? So, go back having celebrated the Vijaya Dashmi, day of victory, Dashera. Finish it, burn it, but don't take the ashes back with you. If you take the ashes back with you, they will come back. They will become ghosts and come back. Therefore, finish all of them in the ocean of knowledge before you leave. Acha, to those who are constantly masters of the self, to those who have the Alokik Tilak and the crown, to those who change the elements into mates, to those who change the five enemies into servers, to those who are constantly carefree emperors, the emperors who stay in spiritual intoxication, to those who are equal to the Father, to such constantly victorious children, Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Avyakt Bap Dada meeting Kumaris. Do all of you experience yourselves to be elevated Kumaris? Ordinary Kumaris carry a basket of their work or they become servants, but elevated Kumaris become world benefactors. You are such elevated Kumaris, are you not? What is the elevated aim of your life? You have the aim of becoming free from the influence of bad company and the bondage of your relationships. Do you not? You are not those who become tied in bondage. What can I do? I have bondages. What can I do if I have to work? This is called having a bondage. So, you neither have a bondage of relationships nor the basket burden of a job. Only those who are free from both bondages are loved by God. Are you free from bondage to this extent? Both types of life are in front of you. Both futures of ordinary Kumaris and special Kumaris are in front of you. So, seeing both of them, you can judge for yourself. Don't be those who do what they are told. Being your own judge, make your own decision. Srimad says to become world benefactors. That is fine, but together with Srimad, those who move forward with their own enthusiasm constantly move forward with ease. If you move forward because of being told by someone or because of the opinion of others, you are ashamed of what others would say and think. If I don't become this, everyone will look at me in this way, thinking that I am weak. If you become this from someone else's force, you will find it difficult to pass the test. Whereas when you have your own enthusiasm, then because you have your own enthusiasm, no matter how big the external situations you face are, you will experience them to be easy. One's own zeal and enthusiasm become the wings. No matter how big a mountain may be, a flying bird would easily be able to go across it. Those who are walking or climbing it would be able to cross it after a lot of difficulty and after a long time. So enthusiasm of the mind is the wings. For those who fly with these wings, it is always easy. Do you understand? So the elevated directions are become world benefactors. Nevertheless, become your own judge and make a decision for your own life. The Father has given you the decision to make. This is not a new thing. Now, make your own decision and you will always remain successful. A sensible person is one who takes every step after careful consideration. Don't just remain thinking about it, but think about it, understand it, and then do it. This is called being sensible. To be a Kumari at the confluence age is the first fortune. You have received this fortune according to the drama. Now, continue to make fortune within fortune. If you use this fortune, your fortune will continue to increase. However, if you lose this first fortune, you will lose all fortune for all time. Therefore, you are fortunate. Become fortunate and now make the fortune of other servers. Do you understand? Bap Dada needing serviceable teachers. Serviceable ones means those who constantly experience the pleasure of service. They are those who constantly experience their life to be one of pleasure. A serviceable life means a life of pleasure. So, you are those who constantly stay in the pleasure of remembrance and service. Are you not? You have the pleasure of remembrance and also the pleasure of service. Your life is of pleasure and the age is of pleasure. Seeing those who constantly stay in pleasure, others also experience pleasure in their lives. No matter how confused some who come in front of you are, those who remain in pleasure are able to free them from confusion and bring them into a state of pleasure. Such servers who remain in pleasure always remain healthy in their body and mind. Those who remain in pleasure constantly keep flying because they have happiness. It is generally said, this one continues to dance in happiness. Not that he is simply walking, but is dancing. To dance means to go high. You can only dance when you lift your feet. So, Those who remain in pleasure means those who remain happy. To be a server means to receive a special blessing from the bestower of blessings. A server has a special blessing. One is your own attention, and the other's blessing is a double lift. To be a server means to be a constantly free soul, to experience the stage of liberation in life. Blessing, may you be constantly powerful by stabilizing in the form of a point and experiencing the form of being essence-full, yogyukt and yuktiyukt. Instead of walking on the crooked path of a question mark, put a full stop to every situation and stabilize yourself in the form of a point. Then you will experience the form of being essence-full, yogyukt and yuktiyukt. Your awareness, words, and actions will all become powerful. If you go into the expansion without becoming the form of a point, there will be the wasteful words of why and what, and you will waste your time and energy in wasteful actions because you will then have to come out of that forest. Therefore, remain stable in the form of a point and make all your physical senses function under your orders. Slogan: keep the diamond key of the word Baba with you, and you will always continue to experience all pleasures. Om Shanti.